Thinking Out Loud Saturday Sports from KBIA.
Tell me about, first of all, just your impressions of the first day. I know you've got a new staff and a new setup and everything, and yet it looked like things were really very organized and kind of intense out there for day number one.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the added, we have 10 new people. We have a new staff. I think there's an enthusiasm around that they're bringing just because they're new to the program.
New year, new team, new goals. Tell me what that's about.
Well, I mean, it's easy for programs to, again, we're Big 12 champions and Big 12 but that was last year, and we had our whole group stand up. Almost half our group is new, and they weren't Big 12 champions. We're very happy to have them here. We're very fortunate, but they weren't part of that group. That was in the past. And so, we're trying to help our returners learn that it doesn't matter what you did last year, and half our team wasn't even here last year. So why limit yourself with new, old goals and those type of things? And the new group is a new group.
I know the days when everybody kind of got together and had to spend these first couple of weeks getting back in shape and figuring out what a soccer ball was and what happened when it kicked it. And that's long gone. Talk a little bit about kind of what this team does in the off season, staying in shape and being so prepared so that when we get out here for the first day of practice, they're ready to go.
Well, our team takes a unique approach. They actually come back for summer school in July, all the freshmen and all the team that comes back. There's a few players that stay home, but they're playing on some of those semi-pro teams, just like baseball. But it's been a regiment for about the last 6 years, and every year we review it and see if it's worthwhile, and it's been really worthwhile for us, and it's really paid off. I mean, you saw it. We had a fitness test today, and we had over half the team get a personal record. So it's motivating. I think our challenge is to make sure we don't peak too early.
Yeah.
But, right now the team is looking better than it has on the first day, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and that's what we keep going into.
You mentioned a lot of new folks out here. You had what was considered by many a very strong recruiting class. Talk a little bit about just the brand new baby freshmen and some of those guys that are going to be contributing.
Well, I mean, from the top to the bottom, and our first meeting actually yesterday, we weren't allowed to actually do soccer, but we could meet. I said this is going to be the hardest time as coaches for us to pick a starting group and even a travel squad. So just because there's so much talent and so much depth here, and I think that pushes everybody to get better.
Can we expect the aggressive play that we've seen out of you guys the last few years to continue pushing forward, scoring a lot?
Well, I hope we score a lot, but certainly the attitude of being aggressive, we know that that's what makes it successful, and that may be what sets us apart from other teams. So especially with 6 or 7 seniors returning, 6 seniors, 1 transfer, who's a senior, but certainly with that older group, I think that's the style that fits us. Even our mentality is more suited to that, and we recruit that way. But yes, you definitely see my hope, but you never know. Every year is different, but our goal is to obviously be as aggressive, if not more aggressive, this year.
You're able to take some chances maybe that other teams wouldn't be able to because of skill and experience in the goal. Tell me a little bit about your goalkeeping situation and how that lets the rest of the team do some things that they wouldn't be able to if you didn't have an inexperienced goalkeeper, somebody you weren't real sure of back there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Tasha, who's been starting since she's been here. I mean, she's played in the system. She knows her way. That experience is always a payoff. But what you're seeing now is a young freshman, Jess Gwynn, who is unbelievably talented, might not have the same experience, but is going to push Tasha based on her talent level.
Fantastic. We'll see you around, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Take care, man.
Well, there's our visit after the very first practice of the season with MU Soccer with head coach Bryan Blitz and Michelle Collins, a senior forward with the team. Now, again, it's still a few weeks before action taking place out on the field. They have started soccer practice for the Mizzou team. They'll have their first home game scrimmage, the black and gold scrimmage. The date has not been set for that yet. The team will be on the road, as we mentioned, their first game on the road at Iowa City, taking on the Hawkeyes. The first official home game is the 28th of August, when they will be at home at Walton Stadium taking on Northwestern. And they've got a pretty impressive, as has been the case over the last several years, very impressive non-conference schedule. Some of the games in the non-conference schedule, teams that we'll get to see here in Columbia include DePaul, Rhode Island, Long Beach State. It's going to be exciting to welcome Long Beach State to Columbia to take on the Mizzou Tigers. They will then play in the Auburn tournament in the second week of October, taking on Auburn and Vanderbilt there before they head out to California again. This is, I think, the third year in a row that the Tigers have gone out to California, taking on some of the best teams in women's college soccer. This year they'll be at the UCLA Invitational against Loyola Marymount and UCLA. They'll come home to play Northern Iowa, and then on the 27th of September, they start the Big 12 season, taking on one of the teams that will challenge Mizzou for the top of the Big 12 this year, the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Ought to be a really fun season. Again, it all gets underway officially on the 21st of August at Iowa, with the home opener on the 28th against Northwestern. And we will continue to update you throughout the year on Mizzou Soccer as we give you total Tiger coverage here on Thinking Out Loud Saturday Sports from KBIA.